You know, it's interesting having people in my life that are still confused why you cannot take away people's basic human rights and then agree to disagree. I came across this video where there was a group of white liberal women and white conservative women, and they're having a conversation. And earlier in the conversation, they had discussed immigration and how people were being dehumanized. And the conservative woman just didn't care. They're twirling their hairs and, they're tearing down Western civilization, i.e. white America. And then the liberal lady tells the conservative woman that she left her MAGA husband. Watch this.
You'll be friends with them, but people who are just hard left, like, I have nothing in common with you. Like, you support, like, this invasion of our country, the destruction of Western civilization. You support
all of these are like real racist ideologies, and I have to stop you right there before it gets any
There's
further,
no
because
invasion.
sometimes you keep saying these things that are so shocking, I think, to...
Offensive.
It's offensive.
What?
They're based in racism, they're based in hatred, they're based in dehumanizing an entire group of people. And this is why liberals don't want to be your friend. And honestly, slay liberals who don't want to be your friend, because I'm on their side. Like, that's exactly right. Would I want to be friends with someone who unironically used the word colored when referring to people in 2025?
If I said that, I did not mean to say that. I think I was trying to say people of color and got it mixed up, but
But I think Mo heard you say things that were pretty racist as well, and we both found them to be pretty shocking. I think that's the reason why liberals and conservatives have a hard time being friends with each other, is because generally speaking, we have a hard time coming to make ends meet when it comes to human rights and how we treat other people on this planet. You know, like, that's the thing. And it's so funny, I had put my thing up as saying, no, I hadn't lost any friends because of my politics, which, P.S., I got a divorce because he became a MAGA, and I forgot.
Wow.
I just didn't consider that person my friend.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Did you divorce your husband because he...
Yeah, leave your MAGA husband, ladies.
Do you have any kids with him?
Do I have any kids with him?
Yeah.
I have 2 children.
So you broke apart a family? Wow.
Oh, so I didn't break apart a family.
Yes, you did.
He broke apart a family.
You just said you divorced him.
He broke apart a family
grow
by
up with a
devaluing
broken
human
family?
rights. He broke apart a
This is
family
why
by...
you are the, like, this is like a...
He broke apart a family
disgusting.
by devaluing human rights and devaluing other humans.
And that's what I've told my friends. And they don't want to hear it. They want to push their white Jesus Christianity on everybody else and expect no repercussions and no blowback. No, You want to be about free speech? Then you're going to get an opinion that goes against what you believe in your white Jesus Christianity. When you force your belief system on somebody else, you are taking away their free will. If I want to run down the street naked, that's my right. If I want to bear false witness, that's my right. If I want to watch porn, that's my right. If I want to swing from a tree by my toes, that's my right. Now, are there consequences? Sure. Obviously, if I rob a bank or tell a lie, the consequences is vastly different. But it's my free will. And this is what you people don't understand, or you don't care. And it's probably just because you're stuck in your white privilege. Oh, transgenders are bad. Gays are bad. Gays can't get married. Immigrants are bad. You're all going to burn in hell unless you turn to Jesus. Put the 10 Commandments in schools. Put Bibles in schools. And yet somehow, just a couple months ago, 7-year-olds were shot in a Catholic church. Somehow, in Catholic churches, tens of thousands of young men have been molested. So spare us your turn to Jesus, because literally some of the worst predators are in a Catholic church or a Baptist church where for decades they covered up sexual assault. And you evangelicals who preach about pro-life voted for a president who's a rapist and a pedophile. You didn't care about their lives. It was never about that. In another section of this conversation, when they talked about immigration, the conservative women went down this racist diatribe of colored people. Yeah, of course. And how immigrants are destroying the Western way of life. White America. That's what this really is. when you look at all of it, there is a fear that immigrants, black people, women, gay people, transgenders, Muslims, whatever it is, that non-white people is taking away white America. And it scares the hell out of them. And they do the only thing they know how to do is they go back on their white privilege and they put out their shield of white Jesus Christianity. And they go back to the only thing they know, Second Amendment and abortion. And they will just hide behind that shield. That's fine. They do that. But don't be surprised when there's consequences, when you lose relationships and marriages and boyfriend, girlfriend. Don't be shocked when your friend who's transgender that served in this military for 15 years, when you voted for the president that basically forced him out, that you're not going to have repercussions. That's no longer a difference of opinion. You have negatively affected your life with your vote. Women in Texas have a 56% increased mortality rate when Roe versus Wade was overturned. You voted for that when you put this guy in office because you're so pro-life. So why don't you go talk to those women whose families no longer have their loved ones because you're so pro-life? Why don't you go talk to Officer Sitnick's family and the 4 other officers that took their own lives from the PTSD? Why don't you go talk to them and tell them that it's just a difference of opinion? Because you won't do it because you're cowards. You will once again go behind your white Jesus Christianity and say, oh, well, we're just going to agree to disagree. That's not without consequence. Stop forcing people to live their lives by your rules. Ironically, Jesus was murdered by this same religious fanaticism, by the Sanhedrin, because Jesus wouldn't conform to their religious ideology. Literally, they killed him. And they threatened to murder Mike Pence by hanging him on January 6th, and Nancy Pelosi, didn't they? They stormed the Capitol, all because, not for justice, not to stop school shootings, not for equality, not for minimum wage to be raised, not for affordable housing, all because they lost an election. Tell me you have white privilege without telling me you have white privilege. And 1,500 people that were found guilty, many of them pleaded guilty, were pardoned by a convicted felon. But hey, let's just agree to disagree. It's just a difference of opinion. Okay, Karen, sure.